the bread from heaven. The sun was hot and the sand was endless. Elian walked beside his mother, Sarai, through the vast wilderness of sin. Their sandals were dusty, and their water skins were getting light. For many days, the people of Israel had been traveling, and now their tummies were beginning to rumble with a deep, empty hunger. The people were worried. They gathered around their leader, Moses, with many questions. "What will we eat in this dry place?" Sarai asked, her voice trembling slightly. Moses listened to everyone's fears. He knew that the desert offered no gardens or markets, but he also knew that they were not alone. That evening, Moses stood on a high rock as the sky turned purple and orange. "Do not be afraid," he called out. "The Lord has heard you. This evening you will see his power, and in the morning he will fill you with bread." Moses looked up at the glowing clouds, trusting in a promise that seemed impossible. As the sun began to set, a whirring sound filled the air. Thousands of small birds called quail fluttered down from the sky, landing right in the middle of the camp. Elian laughed with joy as he and Sarai caught the birds. That night, for the first time in a long while, the smell of a delicious campfire dinner drifted through the tents. The next morning, when the dew cleared, the ground was covered in something strange. It looked like tiny, white flakes as fine as frost on the desert floor. Elian knelt down and touched it. "Manna?" he asked his mother. In their language, manna meant, "What is it?" They had never seen anything like it before. "Try it, Elian," Sarai urged. Elian picked up a small flake and put it on his tongue. His eyes grew wide. It was crunchy and sweet, tasting just like a thin wafer made with fresh honey. It was the most wonderful thing he had ever eaten. God had sent bread straight from the sky to take care of them. Moses gave the people a special rule. Each person must gather only what they need for the day, he explained. Elian and Sarai worked together, filling their baskets with enough white flakes to feed their family. It was a lesson in trust, trusting that there would always be more when the sun rose tomorrow. Some people were worried and tried to save extra manna for the next day, hiding it in jars. But when Elian looked into one of those jars the next morning, he wrinkled his nose. The hoarded manna had turned smelly and was full of tiny worms. "We must only take what we need for today," Elian realized. On the 6th day, something different happened. Moses told them to gather twice as much because the 7th day was the Sabbath, a special day of rest. Elian and Sarai filled 2 big baskets each. "Will it spoil?" Elian asked. But this time, the manna stayed fresh and sweet all through the night. On the Sabbath, the desert was quiet. No manna fell that morning, but Elian's belly was full and his heart was happy. He sat with Sarai in the shade of their tent, resting just as God intended. He knew now that no matter how dry the desert was, they would always have enough, because God was watching over them.